changed. These things happen. Listen, whatever the case was, let's just face the reality. You are now. Of 2025 have already vanished. 75% of your year is gone. And those lofty goals you set in January, well, they're just that. All they are goals, and they're nowhere near becoming a reality. Now, I want to say, is that 100% fault? No. Listen, I get it. Life gets in the way sometimes. Your priorities change. These things happen. Listen, whatever the case was, let's just face the reality. You are 8 months into another year where you promised yourself things would be different. But you know what? This time is different. You see, for the first time in human history, there is a force reshaping everything as we speak. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. A Goldman Sachs research recently predicted that AI can disrupt over 300 million jobs, and McKinsey says that 70% of all work activities can be automated. Entire careers that took decades to build, worthless. Degrees that cost hundreds of thousands, obsolete. That same job disappearing. For while some are about to lose everything, others are building generational wealth at previously impossible speeds. Shopify OpenAI did it in 2 years, and now we have specialized AI companies doing it in 8 months. The same 8 months that just slipped through your fingers. Is this the 2025 you wanted? Look, right now, as you're watching this, something unprecedented is happening in this economy. We are witnessing the biggest disruption to how money is made since the internet was invented. And for the first time in decades, the advantage is shifting away from the wealthy, the connected, and the experts towards regular, everyday people. There's still 4 months to go in 2025. And the good news is you don't need to create the next billion-dollar unicorn in 8 months to achieve true freedom. All you need to do is position yourself in the right place to surf this massive wave that is about to hit the market. And that is why we created the Make Money Online Challenge 2.0, to show you how you can leverage AI to position yourself at the right place in the right time while still in 2025. Let me tell you something incredible. The last time I hosted the challenge earlier this year, in the first 90 days, the people who took action generated over 8.9 million in tracked earnings. From making their first sale all the way up to buying McLaren, regular everyday people. No special skills. They just position themselves at the right place at the right time. And most importantly, took the decision to make this year the turning point of their lives. So yeah, it's true. 8 months of the year have already gone by. But the next 4, those are yours to claim. The last 4 months of 2024 start, and I want to challenge you to create a 373-day online business with me, 100% live for the course of 3 days. So are you going to keep letting the last 4 months of 2025 slip away, or are you going to join me for this challenge? The decision is yours. All right. We are live. You guys hear me? Can you see me? Awesome. VIPs. Love it. Love it. Yo, VIP. Whoop, hyped. Hi. Hello. 04. Hi. Yes, let's do this. All right. 0.44. All right, ladies and gents, you guys are in for an incredible one here today, because someone right over there hiding in the shadows, like he usually does, being in the shadows, is Mr. Jason Fladlin. This man has done over $300 million with digital products, but to be honest, this one he's stopped counting. He has been involved. He's a very humble gentleman. That's one of the things I appreciate most about him. So he oftentimes doesn't speak about his accolades, but we'll get specific names. But any record you can ever think, any accomplished accolade he has been involved in, he is multi-decade billion-dollar companies like Zoom. The man is a legend, and today especially, I'm a nerd and I geek out about this stuff and I love this stuff. Like, to me, this is the most valuable session because it's not often you sit with someone who has such a breadth of experience. And today is some very hard hitting and tactical stuff. And what I will say is shout out to you guys, for being here after 4 days. Shout out to you guys for showing up and taking action and being here. It's going to be rewarded because I said you're in for one hell of a session with Jason, who's going to be presenting today. After that, as always, Jason and I will get into a bit of more informal open Q&A. Then we also have an incredible guest who's made over $10 million with digital products. She is an absolute superstar. Very excited for you guys to meet her. And on that note, I'm going to pass it over to Jason.
Let's go. Iman, thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to cook here. It's just me. No workbook today. No password. Don't ask about it. I got a couple extra goodies that I will give to you when it makes sense at the end here. That one. Thank you, Tristan. But we're going to get down and we're going to do some work. I got a lot to cover and I want to get through it very efficiently and very quickly. So if you're ready, put it ready into the YouTube live chat right there. That'll get me fired up and then we'll get cooking. We'll get ready to rock and roll. So if you're ready, say, I'm ready. My name is Jason Fladlin. It's going to be an honor to serve you today. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get I think we need to put it on the slide there. Tristan, I'm not able to advance it. I love live, by the way. All right. Anticlimactic. Calm before the storm. Okay. Is it on there? Okay. All right. I still remember exactly where I was sitting when it happened. This tiny little desk in my cramped apartment, surrounded by a bunch of empty Diet Coke cans and a whole bunch of books that I checked out from the library on business and sales and productivity and personal development. And there I was trying my hardest and I was barely getting by. I had a $500 credit card. That was all they would trust me with at the bank. And I was eating ramen noodles nearly every day because I was about all I could afford. And I had no clue that I was about to stumble into something that would completely change my entire life. See, that day was November 12th, 2007. I remember it very clearly. That was the day that I made my first digital product sell for a whopping $4 freaking dollars. Now, but here's what they don't understand. It wasn't the amount that mattered. It was how I made it. Because that accidental $4 led to over $250 million. That's $250 million. And as Iman said in the intro, it's now at over $300 million in sales over the past 18 years, including $57.9 million in just 226 days, including $9.8 million in just 8 days, and over $1 million in a single hour. More than once. Yeah, you heard that right. $1 million in an hour. Not a bad payday, huh? And the money is just part of the story, my friend, because this accident of digital products also is what brought me to my wife. It allows me to provide for my 3 children, and it gives me the freedom to live life on my terms, to be ungovernable. What was the shirt I was rocking the other day? I got 0.44 on here today. All of this was because I stumbled upon a specific way to create digital products that I had no idea that it would disrupt entire industries. And you want to know the crazy part? It's this. The same method that little Jason Fladlin discovered in 2007 works even better in 2025. Caveat, as long as you use it the right way, which 99% of people screw up completely. So today, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share with you the exact process, step by step, no fluff, no theory, just the raw, unfiltered blueprint that turned my broke ass into a 9-figure entrepreneur. Would you like to see it? Also, I do have a special guest. I'm going to bring her on a little bit later. Iman's going to pop in, and I'm going to bring her on. You're going to love her story, which will come here at the end of the presentation today. Now here's the thing. Even if you don't buy a damn thing from Navami, even if you say, I am not going to invest in monetize Jason, what I'm about to show you will be worth more than most people's entire business education, what I'm going to share with you here today. And for those of you who were able to grab monetize, or will grab monetize by the end of the presentation here today, I have some extra special resources that I'm going to provide to you as well. So grab something to write with, because I'm about to show you how to turn thin air into cold hard cash. If you're ready, drop some fire emojis into the chat. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Now, before we dive into the good stuff, let me tell you why I'm here, because the story is absolutely wild. My name is Jason Flavin, and I took a 16-hour flight from Los Angeles to Dubai. I left behind my wife, who I'm madly in love with, and I'm working these late nights in a time zone that is completely ridiculous for my 42-year-old ass, and I'm doing all this to be here with you today. Now, why would I do something like this? And here's why. Because what Iman has built is so damn powerful that I had to be a part of it, and trust me, I can judge this stuff better than anyone. See, I haven't just watched digital history unfold. I helped write the damn history book on it. See, over a decade ago, I disrupted Amazon so hard, yeah, that Amazon, that they literally had to change their terms of service because of what we were doing so effectively on their platform. And the people that I helped get started there, many of them are millionaires now, retired, living a good life. All because they moved when I told them to move, and they moved how I told them to move. And Amazon was just the beginning, my friend. Because then when e-commerce exploded with Shopify, I was sitting front row again. I partnered with the first company that got Shopify's approval on a digital program, and I helped regular people print money with it like they had their own Federal Reserve. Now, some of the brands that I've worked with, you probably have their products in your house right now. We're talking household brand names, and then came Zoom after that. You know, that company that's worth billions of dollars. I saw that wave coming from miles away. I became the leading authority on their platform for doing certain kinds of presentations, and then Zoom themselves brought me in to train their users right before they went public. And we're talking today where they became worth billions in 24 hours. And here's the crazy part. I did all of this without any social media presence. I'm just kind of getting started right now, and I'm fumbling in the dark. I'm not very good at it. I don't have that big personal brand. I don't dance on TikTok. I don't post motivational quotes on LinkedIn. I just work directly with the best. I tend to stay private, and I have become the secret weapon behind some of the biggest names that you know today in the digital product space. So I've been around the block. I wear the scars of trial and error, and I carry the lessons from the wins into everything that I do. And because of this track record, the best in the world seek my advice. They want to hire me, and I say no to 99 out of 100 of them. And I only work with the absolute best of the best, who have the best offers for the best audience. So when Iman says, hey man, here's what I'm cooking with, here's what I built, you want in? I said, let's go, baby, I'm in. And why is that? Because Iman has the very best solution that I've seen in this space for solving my favorite problem in the entire world, which is how to create high-value digital products at scale. And that's exactly what we're about to show you how to do on this session today, because out of everything that I've sold, every major client that I've advised, every $1 million launch that I've been behind and been a part of, there's always been a digital product at the heart of it. I'm absolutely obsessed with digital products, and I mean literally. My wife thinks I have some sort of problem. She'll catch me at like 2 in the morning scribbling a product idea on a napkin after waking up from a dead sleep, or I get super excited about some weird esoteric way to package up a digital product. And she's like, baby, I think you might need to go see a therapist. Because it's not normal. I'm certainly not normal, and I am absolutely so damn passionate about this, way more than anything I've done. Because while it's cool helping people crush it, selling cheese graters on Amazon, some of them made millions with it, by the way, and it's awesome watching entrepreneurs blow up, shipping swaddle blankets off of Shopify. That's pretty cool, and it's really neat advising the leading software companies and agencies on strategy. I can't name names, but you would know who they are. Nothing, and I repeat, nothing gets me fired up like digital products. Because unlike physical products, you don't need inventory, you don't need a warehouse, you don't need to deal with shipping delays or customs or any of that bullshit. And unlike services, you don't need to trade time for money, you don't get stuck on the hamster wheel of more clients means more hours, and you don't burn out trying to scale yourself. Digital products are pure leverage, create oneself forever. And here's the thing, even though I've been obsessed with this for years, it's not something that I could just go out and recommend to anybody who wants to get started online. Why is that? Because until recently, the skill threshold was too damn high. You needed to be an expert, you needed to be a writer, you needed to be a speaker, you needed to know how to process information, set up complicated systems. And most people aren't willing to put in the years and the time to master that. So I kept the strategy close to the chest. Only trying to get the highest level clients, the ones who could afford to hire teams, handle all the technical stuff, and then suddenly the barriers around it started crumbling. You could generate the content now in minutes instead of months. You could create the content without being a subject matter expert to publish your first ever digital product. You could create the landing pages for it without knowing any code. Just 2 lines of prompt and build something incredible like what you're seeing on your screen right now in front of your very eyes in real time. You can automate all sorts of different things that you would need in order to have a successful digital product with pushes of buttons, and that's exciting. But here's where most people mess it up. They think that this thing called artificial intelligence, or AI for short, is some sort of magic wand that they can just type "make me money" into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT says, "Aye, aye, boss," and then the cash starts rolling in. That is complete BS. That is yet to work. I don't think it will ever work. Okay, if that were the case, you would see way more people making serious money online than you currently do. The truth of it is this: AI is just a tool. It is an incredibly powerful, useful, amazing tool. Yet it is still a tool. What matters less the tool, more how you use the tool. And you want to use it under the right strategic framework with the right approach, following the right sequence. And guess what? That framework, that's what I accidentally stumbled upon on November 12th, 2007, when I was broke, when I was desperate, and when I had a single clue on what I was doing. Now, this framework has 3 core pillars. Money machine. Would you like to know all 3 of these? Well, here they are. The first one is speed, so write that down. And we're not talking about just while the iron is hot. When you spot an opportunity in the market, when you see a gap that needs filling, when you notice people for a solution that they can't find and pay money for, you need to move on that, my friend, and you need to move fast. Not next week, not next month, not when you have more time. I'm talking right now, because here's what I learned the hard way. Markets move at lightning speed. What's a burning problem today by someone else tomorrow, and the window of opportunity is usually very tiny, and the people who win are the ones who can move the fastest. And that's why AI is such a game changer to understand this. It allows you to go from idea to launch in days or even minutes instead of months. And I'll show you more on that here shortly. Here's the second pillar, though. Specific. Write that down. And this is where most people completely crap the bed. They try to be all things to everyone. They try to create some sort of generic, watered-down thing that appeals to nobody, and that's a huge mistake, because the riches are in the niches. But not just any niche. You need to find the specific intersection where 3 specific things meet. And it's this. Write this down. A problem people are desperate to solve. That's number 1. A problem they're willing to pay money for to solve. That's number 2. And number 3 is a problem that you can use AI to actually solve and solve it better than anyone else. Those are your 3 criteria. We're going to examine them very deeply today. So when you find that sweet spot, when you create a laser-focused solution, people will literally throw money at you. I'm talking about charging premium prices and having people thank you for it. And we're going to break that down here shortly. Now, there's the 3rd pillar. So write this one down. Consistency. And this is the secret sauce that separates the one-hit wonders from the empire builders. Anyone can get lucky once. Building real wealth requires systems, though. It requires processes, though. And my favorite thing, it requires frameworks that you can work over and over and over again. And I got some of those frameworks for you here today. See, most people, they launch one product, they make some money with it, and then they sit back and wait for some sort of magic to occur. That's not a business. That's a lottery ticket. The real money comes from building a machine, a system that can pump out high-value digital products consistently, like the beating of the heart, month after month, year after year, creating multiple income streams that compound upon each other. And that's how you go from making $4 to making millions. And that's exactly this framework. It's exactly what I'm going to show you how to build. So you ready to go? You ready to dive deep? You ready to get into these 3 elements? Put a hell yes into the chat. if you're ready. I'm ready. You ready? Let's go, baby. Let me break down speed for you first, because this is where most people completely miss the boat. This is pillar number one, right? Speed works in two directions, and you want to nail them both. And if you do, then money will become a thing that you used to worry about. Now, here's the first direction you have to understand. It's called speed of deployment. The faster you can get it. Here's what I learned after launching hundreds. I repeat that I have launched hundreds of digital products over the years. Here's what I learned. It happens. They meet a market in need, and they crush a painful problem. Fantastic. And then they start chugging along, and they start generating profits and sales almost instantaneously. Now, I've had dozens of products that have done that. They've just shot out of a cannon and made $10,000 in their first week, or $20,000, or $50,000, even over $100,000 that my first daughter was born. So I'm like, six-figure baby. I actually literally created a digital product called Six Figure Baby. No, that one came later, but this is how I remember this. I've even done $9.8 million in 8 days, and that was a freaking amazing week. And here's the thing. Not every product is going to be a home run. Most of them aren't, and that's perfectly fine, because some products are like a steady friend who never lets you down. They chug along, few sales a day, bringing you in consistent cash flow, which is the most important thing. It's like a stock market dividend, except for the return is a lot higher, okay? So I've had products that are, some of my products are 10 years old, and they're still generating, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, and they're making six figures over the course of the years from something that I only touched and created once. Then there are some products that just don't bite. Like, I've had a lot of flops over the years. I probably had 20 or 30 or maybe even 40 products that were flops in the commercial sense. They didn't just like start raining money from the sky. Instead, got to sell there and they trickle you. That's still not a loss, because, and write this down, every product that you create becomes an asset that you can leverage. So that failed product, that can become a bonus for your next digital product that you launch. Or it can be the thing that you give away for free as content that will attract people to you, who will then buy other products that you publish. It can be training material when you do coaching or a mastermind. It can be content for a book that you then fold into the next digital product. Everything has use once you create it in a digital form, as long as you can launch it fast, fail quick, and win even quicker. So there you go. I want you to really embrace that. Launch fast, fail quick, win even quicker. That's the motto, okay? You do that, you're absolutely golden. Then it's not a matter of if you'll start hitting the big bucks, it's just a matter of when. Because here's the dirty little secret that nobody talks about. Most successful entrepreneurs, they have a graveyard of failed products. The difference is they kept launching, they kept moving, they kept iterating. And this is what success is like, okay? While everyone else is still perfecting their first little beautiful product like it's their firstborn, the successful among us, they were already launching 2 and 3 and 4 and product number 5 and 6 and 7 all the way up to product number 12. And maybe it was product number 12 that made them rich. And that's direction number one of speed. Direction number two is speed of results. And this one is my very favorite. This was the biggest game changer for me early on in my career. And here's where it's awesome, because speed works on the buyer's side as well, okay? And this is the breakthrough that changed my entire life. See, if your audience can buy your digital product and can reduce the time it takes them from consumption to results, they will pay you more money. Not the same amount of money, they will pay you more. And this is true even if they could get that same information for free elsewhere. And let me prove it to you. I'll give you a real example of this. Say somebody wants to learn how to start their very own podcast. Now, they could go and spend 16 hours researching it on YouTube, and they could even listen to podcasts on podcasting, and they could ask ChatGPT a whole bunch of questions about it, and they could go to Google and say, how do I start a podcast? And then they could read through all the different results, and they could do all that. Or they could, pay you $97 for a step-by-step system that gets them launched in 2 hours. Like, just like that podcast launch. Guess which most people in a market would choose? They choose the buying decision every single time, because it saves them time. Only a very few people would rather spend hours upon hours upon hours to get it for free, as opposed to spending a little bit of money to get the result very quickly. And with synthesized AI, and this is the game changer,
intelligence in everyday conversations. Before we listen in, here are a few words you should know.
Thank you. 손을 내가 어디 잡은 거 있잖아.
カバンじゃない。どこ？
텔레비전.